अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः। अर्जुन उवाच संन्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि यश्रेययेतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्।
So now he is saying, this is Arjun, that first you say that renounce the karmas, then you say do karma after saying this. So that creates confusion. So out of two you say this is one which you should do. So it is clear to me, because it is becoming confusing to me, because you praise one thing that this is and you say do another. Then why should I do another? When this is best, why should I do? So make this clear to me. So he is saying this for this clarity, that it is almost impossible to renounce karma for a simple person. Those who are attained from their births and births and births, they only can understand even deeper what it is karma sannyas. So it is almost impossible, but he is not saying that directly, that for you to renounce karma, it is not possible. So he is giving that open space, because the one thing about divinity is that it has to be even. So it has to give equal feel, that if I am living in that state of karma sannyas, you are also open to stay in that. But he knows the difficulty, because his role is not to put you in difficulty. So he has to give you a way. So he is not directly saying that you can't stay without that way. You can't renounce the karma, cannot do karma sannyas. So and his word has to be true. So he says, yes, this possibility is there, one can become, but he knows the difficulty as well, that people can't do this. So he is giving he is making a what you call introducing in this simply, so that you don't get this feeling also, oh, if I cannot do, then I will not reap the same result also. So he said, this is not this. By doing both, you will reach to the same result only. Sannyasa karmogascha nisreyas karabhavo, both are giving you the same result. Tayostu karm sannyas karm yogo visishyate. Even having said that, karma yoga is something special. That is why the speciality is given, that for the most of the world this only will be applicable. That is why he has said this is applicable.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate na sa papena padmapatramivambhasa.
It says, now if you recall from the earlier chapter, how it is said, it was said that Brahma karma Brahma udbhavam. How it happens? From where karma is emanating? Brahma. So he is saying Brahma adhaya karmani sangam tyakva. So his words are connected, what he has said earlier. So here when that word comes, that means it is referring to the earlier that. From there we have to take reference. It's a Brahma adhaya karmani sangam tyaktya karoti. The one who is not attached to it. One is upholding the Brahma. Adhaya means we say dharana, come, adhaya. When you come down from samadhi to dhyana to dharana, that is where adhaya word is relevant. He said, when you are upholding that in your karma, day-to-day life, and then you are not attached to it. The way if you are doing this work, then like there in the rain, when you say in the pond, that lotus is there. Lotus, and it's that patram, which means its leaf is there, and lotus flower is also there. So flower is untouched by the filth despite being in the filth. So it says, like that you will overcome this world. If you are upholding the Brahma but you are not attached to it, what you are doing that way, he is just simply is given like that filth he is referring to the world or Maya or your existence, because anything, there are so many things woven in it, anything which is touched in the world. That's why see but people took it otherwise. They forgot what was behind. Here always, now in corona time we are maintaining distance. Here always mention that little distance is necessary. Even if you are touching somebody's feet, you say it from distance. Don't go and physically touch it. Your respect is reached there. Why? Because there is something. Even when we are there, this is very refined science. Because it says anything you touch, if you are not always in the Brahm, it will get contaminated. Not in the contaminated the sense they are say casteism, all not that. Because you are in some other world and suddenly you are touched, but you come down in your consciousness. Now you can't explain this to anyone. Those who are not open to the layers and layers of consciousness, you can't explain. So you may have noticed that when you go to some sadhu saints, if you try to touch their feet, they run up behind. You will notice that. They will try to avoid, but they can't say, there is an etiquette involved, anything. So certain things they do. So anything which is touched in the world, that creates some kind of karma. Or you get attached to the world. Anything touching. So touching is maximum avoided. It is not out of anything, it is out of respect only for the other person. That you avoid, you keep certain distance. So because here also the same principle is, if your karma is like this, then despite being the world, you will be untouched by the world. So how beautiful it becomes, that everywhere you are doing everything, but you are not contaminated by the world. So everybody, when such is the case, then world becomes beautiful. Because if you are not touched by the world and everything is around you, then it is a beautiful space to be in. And that is how people used to live. That is called Satya. When people understand it fully, that this is the way to live. So he is saying, Brahman adhaya karmani sangyam tyaktya karoti. The one who is upholding the Brahma and is still doing the work untouched by it. Then, lipyatena sapapin, he is not any kind of pap, means the karma which one should not do. It is not touched by that, will not do anything like that. Like the lotus flower flourishes in the filth without touching the filth. Okay, yeah.
Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitamatmanah tesham adityavajnanam prakashayati tatparam.
So he says, Jnanen tu tadjnanam yesham nasit atmana, means the one whose knowledge is not contaminated by the worldly knowledge. See, there are streams of knowledge in the world also, but they pull you back because they are, as you say, avidya janit jnana, the knowledge which comes from avidya. So they pull you towards, and you get again that lipyate word comes here, touched by it, and you become one with that. So it says, if one is not touched by that knowledge, then only nasit atmana, that the knowledge of the Atma you can get. Then only when it is, you get to that knowledge, then how it is? Prakashati tat param tesham aditvat gyan. That is like Aditya. Aditya word is referred to the sun. So it is saying about the light. That knowledge is like a very bright light. And deeper meanings of the words are Aditya means beginning. Adi means beginnings. The one that is from the beginning. That knowledge you get. So they are referring here the word and its meaning. They are always same, but they keep going deeper till they become akshar. And once the akshar is there, then they are an infinite meanings that cannot be explained. So people only explain as much as needed. That this is, so they keep it to the very basics. So mostly you will find what is written in the, when somebody is doing translation or some arth which you call, no, what is the meaning, that is you will find it different. That is why I say listen from the Guru. Jnanen tu tad jnanam yesham nasit atmina. So with that knowledge, all this is substandard, this knowledge. That knowledge lightens you like Aditya. Adityavat tad jnanam prakashyati tatparam. What that light is put, again as we are seeing in this world, if you have to read something in the darkness, what you do? You will put torch and see what is written. He say like that, when your knowledge becomes like that Aditya, then you put that Aditya on that, then you see Tat Param. Tat means, yes, Harihi Om Tat Sat. Tat word comes, means that one. So he said, then that one is lightened. Oh, this is that. When you become enlightened, when you become Adityavat, then you say, oh, this is it. Because otherwise you are not worthy of seeing. So you can't see. So he says, when all this worldly knowledge you overcome, you know its limitations, and when that knowledge is opened where you are always there, then Adityavat Tat Jnanam, because here we refer to that sun maximum. Now the scientists are discovering that even this sun has a limited this thing span of being there. Though long, but still we say Shashvat for such thing, that is very long but not eternal. So he says, when you become like that, then that is, yes.
Tadbuddhayastadaatmanaha Tannishthasthatparayanaha Gacchantya punaravrittim Jnana nirdhuta kalmasha.
He says, what will happen when such thing is tad buddhya? Yes, tad atmanam. So tat word everywhere they are saying. Then you see that your intelligence becomes like that. See, you have read that these black holes are there certain, where even if light passes through them, it will disappear into them. How much power of their gravity is there, of that darkness, that even such a thing as light cannot pass them. And black holes also have a place to be. What will be called, for the want of the words, we can call only place or space, that black holes are also existing in something. No? So same way here is saying tad buddhis tad atmana. What I am trying to say is that when you see that, then that attraction is so deep that you become that only verily. There is nothing else. You are not left as you. So your tad buddhi tad atmana, your intelligence become like that, you become like that. Tat parayana, like the way it is moving. Parayana means the way it is moving. What else to say moving other than? The way its dynamics are, yours also become. The way its dimensions are, you discover these are your dimensions. So that is what it is saying. Gacchanta punaravartyam gyan nirdhut kalmasa. So once you go into that, there is no coming back. Gyan nirdhut kalmasa. We do this cleaning. Nirdhut means no dhua. What is smoke? Dhut means here any kind of what you call impurity, any kind of thing which is there for cleaning, that is not there. So nirdhut means that state where nothing, like it has been given in comparison that fire and fire has smoke. You see, this is of that time when these such gases were not there, no LPG. So when fire means wood or cow dung, something like that. So they say with fire comes smoke. So fire they are referring purity, and smoke they are referring something which comes along with it. So same way when you are born, something is there. So for Atma. Atma is, we say, no, what is this? Atma got confused here in the body. So it felt itself bounded. Otherwise it is always free. So he says it got that some impurity has come somewhere, it got cocooned. So he says Jnana Nirdhut Kalmasa. With that knowledge, that kalmash is gone. So you become like that. That is what the meaning.
योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारामः तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति.
Yoantah Sukhantaratma. So he is saying that now the one who is always dwelling in the Atma. Now if we say here translation as soul, it doesn't work. So we have to better use the word Atma only. We should develop this thing. Sense that when we are saying Atma, we say Atma only. Otherwise it becomes very difficult to translate it as a soul, because it is not that. So, yo anta sukho antaratmasthata antar jyotirevya. He says the one who is always dwelling in the Atma, so that sukh is incomparable. And its light, jyoti, that is also incomparable. Why it is so? Because it is part of that only. So he is saying now one has realized that one is part of that only. So that is the Atma. He says, Mavev anshe ihjuloke, that all are my amsh. So he says if one has realized that, Yontah sukho antaratma sa yogi brahmanirma brahma bhuto adhigacchati. Sa yogi brahmanirma. So he says that yogi, that becomes, yogi means mystic. Mystic means you get that knowledge which cannot be described. You come to know how it is operating, but you can't tell. So he says, Sa yogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuto adhigacchati. So that become Brahma Nirvana, which is called Brahma Nirvana, means now you have attained to that Brahma, and Nirvana means that is the ultimate stage that you attain to. That is in different words we say that liberation in English, but Nirvana, that is the word, the liberation in English. So the Nirvanam adhigacchati, Brahma bhuto, that he becomes Brahma, verily. And that is the ultimate thing here. Okay.
Labhante brahma nirvanam rishayakshina kalmashaha chinnadvaidhayatatmanaha sarvabhutahite rathaha.
Now if you are, while you are alive, you have body and you get this Brahma Nirvana, what will you do? Labhte Brahma Nirvana rishya chid kalmasa. So he is giving this example very clearly. Pata nahi how people say, oh, marne ke baad after death you will get moksha. Everywhere it is, and every second step he is describing that it is here and now. Labhte Brahma Nirvanam rishya chid kalmasha. They say that you get Brahma Nirvana like the rishis got, seers brought it. Chid kalmasha, because their blemishes, their sins are not there. They are gone, they have disappeared. They have been washed of their sins. Kalmasha, there is no kalmash left into that. No impurity is left into that. They have realized that. Chinna dvaidha, they have no duality now. Dvaidha nahi hai unko. Dvaidha means this or that. Should I do this or should I do that? They do not have. They are very clear, this is what I am supposed to do. And that they do. Chinna duvidha. Mostly people hear, oh, there's this and that, this or that. That is the problem with people. So clarity, correctness and purity, they move together. He says, Chinna duvidha. They have no confusion what to do. They are very clear. No duvidha. Yatatmana. Because they are nestled in Atma. It yat Atmana, this word will come again in the 18th chapter. Buddhya Vishuddhya Dhrato Yatatmanam Niyamacha. In the last it will say Yatatmana. He is referring here. Yatatmana. Sarvabhut Hiterata. Such people, when they are nestled in the soul, they are Brahma Nirvana they have got. What will they do? How you know? From their activities you come to know. Sarvabhut Hiterata. That is their work. They will be indulged into the works which are for the whole creation. Sarvabhut Hiterata. For the welfare of all. Welfare of whole existence. Bhut Hite. You need this importance. Why he is saying a specific word. Bhut Hiterata. Why he is not saying, he could say Hiterata, Sarvalok Hiterata. Sarvabhut Hiterata. Means, Bhut means the one who are present, appearing to be there. Otherwise, somebody will sit in meditation and say, I am doing for the welfare of the whole. He says, no, Sarvabhut Hiterata. You have to work for the ones who are appearing to be there. Bhut means the one who have become, who are appearing to be there. Bhut means not ghost. Bhut means those who are appearing to be there. So he says, you have to, those who have become like this, they become Sarvabhut Hiterata, working for the welfare of all.
Bhoktaram yajñatapasam sarvalokamaheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam nyatva mam shantim rachhati.
So he is saying, when they are engaged in this way, work, how should they look at it? They are working Sarvabhut Hiterata, so that they are not touched by the fruit of their karma. Otherwise, they start enjoying fruit of their karma. He says, Bhoktaram Yagatapsham Sarvalok Maheshwaram. I am the one who is Bhokta. I am the enjoyer of that, not you. So here he is referring to his own divinity, that all what you are doing, those who have attained to the Brahma Nirvana, those Brahma Nirvana attained people, they should say their fruit I am enjoying, not they. Yag, tap, dan, whatever they are doing, it is not for their enjoyment, it is for my enjoyment. I am enjoying all that. Sarvalok Maheshwaram. And consider me as for the whole existence. Sarvalok. As many lokas are there. Lokas. These are lokas. What are these? They are different level of consciousness, have different level of existences. So he is referring to those lokas. Like we see, there are insects, then there are different called existences are there. But these are all visible to us, appearing. But there are others in higher consciousness, others are also there. Sarvalokaik Maheshwaram. So I am all these lokas, Maha means the highest one. Aishwari. Ishwar word comes to the one that rules all creation. There is a stage when your soul, which is called Atma, which is called Purush, when it is attained to a certain kind of spiritual attainment, then it becomes Ishwar. It is called Purush when it has mastered the body. Then it is not anymore finding itself confined to the body. It is called Purush. But if it has become little more attained and it finds itself everywhere, that is called Ishwar Sarvabhutana. That becomes Ishwar. So when it is attained to that stage, when it is finding every lokas, then it is called Maheshwara. So, Bhokta Ramyak Tapsam Sarvalokaik Maheshwaram. That Ishwar I am who is enjoying all your fruit, whatever you are doing. So, consider me that. Because where do you enjoy? A real enjoyment is in heart. And he says, in heart I am there. So, in reality, I am the enjoyer. So, that way if you see, then you see reality. So, you never get confused. When you are always nestled in the reality, then how will you get confused? If you start enjoying, then you get confused. Suhridam Sarvbhutanam Gyatva Mam Sant. And then you know Suhridam Sarvbhutanam. I am the friend of everyone who is appearing to be there. Sarvbhutanam. Suhridam means friend. Suhridam means best heart also. I am that best heart of everyone who attend to me. Because I am there in the heart. So you will attend to me only. So you become Suhridam. So to others you will appear a very good person. If you have become like this. Suhridam Sarv. So he said that I am Sarvbhutanam Gyatva Mam Santimirchati. When you know me like this, then you will attain to the peace. Because it is verily saying, no, same thing. That's why I say it is only one sentence which is stretched through whole Gita. Everywhere when you come, it will be same. Here also he is saying Santi Mirchati. There also he is saying Tame Saranam Gach Sarvbhaven Bharat Tat Prasadat Param Santi Prapnoti na Sansaya. Here also the same thing. So everywhere it is different words referring to the same thing. That you have to reach to that state where you realize this reality. So this is your 5th chapter.